This is your moose shooting report from Madera Canyon, Arizona, last week of June 2025. I've put up many videos from Madera Canyon over the decades. It is truly one of our favorite places. This is the 44th year for us to be here. And that's because it is just a phenomenal place. I know all moose shooting reports start off with saying it's a phenomenal place, but there are other videos here on my YouTube channel you can refer to see that it is just a magical place. So Madera Canyon, it's not too far from the Arizona-Mexico border. And as the name suggested, it is a canyon up the road from Green Valley, which is just south of Tucson. Try and give you a little bit of an idea where we're at. And we're at Santa Rita Lodge, which is really the only place, literally and figuratively, to be at Madera Canyon. So with that said, what's here? Well, hummingbirds. Lots and lots and lots of hummingbirds. Not just your basic, maybe you might think of Annas if you're on the West Coast, or ruby-throated if you're on the East Coast. We're talking about some very unique ones, some very rare ones. And one that is actually taken for granted, which is truly the most common, is the broadbill hummingbird. Now the male is absolutely gorgeous, so are the females. But the males with that incredible electric blue-green plumage, that orange and black mandible, they're just a standout. And they're one that you're going to photograph over and over again. And they're great because you can kind of get used to your technique and focus in your flashes and everything using them, because there are hundreds of them. Now, along with them, you have other hummingbird species here. Now, this year, it is a drought year. It's a severe drought. And that alters a lot here at Madera Canyon, like most locations that are kind of water dependent. It's an oak riparian kind of system, but when there's no water, not many insects, so a lot of things just kind of change up. Doesn't change just how much photography goes on. You know, each morning session, 3,000 images, maybe, of just hummingbirds. So like I mentioned, we had the broadbill. This year, one of the really kind of the rarer ones to see, the Rivolis, they're really common this year, which is really cool. A couple of the real common ones, the Rufus and the Allen's hummingbird, we haven't seen a one. Again, that's because of drought. One of the truly rare hummingbirds here, or anytime, this is only the fourth time I've seen it, second time I've been able to photograph it, is the barreline. And this year we have two. And the immature has been almost always here. It's always in the viewfinder. That's the beauty about Madera. There's always going to be something different, even though it's the same. Besides hummingbirds, and it's hard for me to get past them because that's why we first came here, why we keep coming back, there are other birds here as well. The typically common elegant trogon, yeah, we've seen none. Heard none, and according to the last report, only 31 left, and that's just tragic. Other birds here that though have been common that we've been able to photograph are like the hepatic tanager. We had the male and the female. All the ones that are here, the painted redstart. Now I've been bad. I've actually kind of ignored it. The shots I've got, or while it's literally on the buildings getting insects. It's quite comical to watch. It's all over the sides of the buildings, going around on the decks. It's at our feet. Not real photographic situation. We have this great bird against a Forest Service brown building. That's okay. The Mexican jays are here. They're always here, and they are just hilarious. Fun to watch, fun to photograph. The acorn woodpeckers, they're always here. Great fun to watch. Fun to photograph as well. And we've had quite a bit of time with the Arizona woodpecker, another really great bird. Now, if you head up to the store, go inside the store, on the right there's a door. You go out and there's a patio there. And that patio is a great place for shooting when you have, you could say, hotter light hours. You come and you shoot, you're really hoping for those monsoons. And those monsoons give you that real beautiful God scream and great light. We haven't had any of that this week, so you kind of have to pick and choose because it's the desert, and desert light is really hard. But you go up there on that deck, and you can get like the black-headed grosbeaks. There's more of the acorn woodpeckers. There's a lot of other birds up there as well. Not so much nectar-eating birds, mostly seed-eating. Now, when it comes to photography, we have the best time, especially because it's in the desert, is early morning. We start about 6 a.m. and we go to about 9. We got about a nice 3-hour window with the temperatures, oh man, maybe 70, maybe 74, nice little breeze. It's been spectacularly gorgeous in the morning. Have lots of great birds. After that, we kind of have breakfast. You might do a siesta. You might look at your images. And we haven't gotten back to shooting till about 4 p.m. That's because we're waiting for that light, the sun to go across the sky, the light to get good. As I mentioned, we didn't have any kind of God scrims this week. The one big change up this year for me here at Madera Canyon is in camera gear. And I changed lenses. So I'm using the Z180-600. Which at the Hummingbird feeders has been just a godsend. That's because you've got the Rivolis, which is a physically bigger hummingbird, almost 5 inches. And then you got the little ones like the black chin hummingbird, which is just about 2 inches. So at 600 millimeters, black chin does just fine. But at 600 millimeters, you're clipping tails and wings and bills on that Rivolis. So then I have to zoom back to about 470 to get them in the frame and no clipping of tails and tips. And I couldn't do that with my past rig with the Z400 4.5 with the 1.4 attach. You were at 560, period. Well, and since I'm shooting at f8, the Z180-600 has been spectacular. Focuses super fast, except for in really low light conditions, which right? There's no light, no real photography going on, especially using flash. You can see the photograph of my flash rig. It's the same other than the swap out of the lens. And if you want to understand the whole process of how I set everything up, there are two, part A and part B video here on the YouTube channel about photographing hummingbirds and the rig. So that's all there. And the only swap out, like I mentioned, is the lens. Well, what else is there? We stay at, like I said, Santa Rita Lodge. We are in a cabin. Makes it easier. You can cook your own food because going back and forth to Green Valley to eat breakfast and dinner, for example, it's 2.5, 3 hours of your day just doing that. Better be up here shooting. Cabins are up here if you're going to come. Cabin, I believe it's 11, is probably when if you're by yourself, the friendliest one for feeders and for shooting, photographing hummingbirds. But other than that, it's just spectacular. It's just an amazing place to relax, collect yourself, and just do some really marvelous bird photography. So that's your Moose Shooter Report, last week of June 2025.